mynews.studio.
A Colombian rainforest saved in just 1 year, an area as large as New York City. But then, deforestation surged again. And somehow, Paris's clean air is connected. How?
Today is July 1st, 2025. Let's begin with Colombia. In 2023, they recorded a 23-year low in deforestation. Just over 79,000 hectares lost. That's down from more than 123,000 the year before, a 36% drop. What exactly made that sharp decline possible?
The turning point was a program called Conservar Paga. The government paid communities and landowners to protect forests. So instead of clearing land for cattle or crops, people received direct payments and technical support for conservation projects. It made protecting the forest just as viable economically as cutting it down. But there's another piece. Peace.
Right, the peace negotiations. For years, conflict in the Amazon's deforestation arc meant the people cleared land to claim territory or support armed groups. When violence decreased, forest loss also slowed, especially in regions like Meta, Putumayo, Tacata, and Guaviare. In Meta alone, deforestation dropped by 57%. So would you say that policy and peace are tightly connected here?
Yes, they're closely linked. Where community agreements and peace-building efforts were strongest, deforestation fell the most. But here's the setback. By 2024, deforestation rebounded by 35%. What triggered that reversal?
The main drivers were renewed activity by armed groups and illegal cattle ranching, especially inside protected national parks. With security weakening, some groups returned and land grabbing rose. Now authorities are looking at stricter cattle traceability, stronger enforcement, and expanding community agreements. The real question, can these changes happen fast enough to hold on to the progress?
That's exactly what's on the line. Let's switch to Paris, which faced a different problem: urban air pollution. Since 2014, the city removed 50,000 parking spaces, converted car lanes to bike paths, and increased green spaces. What did these changes actually achieve?
The results are clear in the data. Paris cut fine particulate matter, PM2.5, by 55%, and nitrogen dioxide by 50% since 2005. Nitrogen dioxide alone fell by 45% between 2014 and 2024. But how did Paris manage such a dramatic shift in such a dense city?
It wasn't just infrastructure. Paris invested in a communication campaign, engaging residents, explaining the health benefits, and even holding referendums. In 2024, for instance, voters approved tripling parking fees for SUVs. The 15-minute city idea was key, making daily needs accessible on foot or by bike. Did that reduce the usual resistance from drivers and businesses?
To a degree. There was still resistance, especially from drivers, but Paris introduced changes gradually, improved public transit, and kept dialogue open with residents. They're still adjusting the approach. But overall, health improvements, like lower asthma rates and fewer premature deaths, have helped keep support strong. So, what broader lesson can we draw from these cases?
Both Colombia and Paris show that well-coordinated policies can lead to quick environmental improvements. But it takes more than rules on paper. It needs political determination, community involvement, and the flexibility to respond when setbacks happen. As countries work toward 2030 climate targets, these examples offer practical guidance. Still, why aren't more places replicating this?
That's the hurdle. Every region faces its own mix of challenges: conflict, political resistance, economic demands. But the evidence is there. With the right incentives, enforcement, and public engagement, progress is possible. The question is, will other governments act quickly enough?
Today we've seen how Colombia's forests and Paris's air both demonstrate rapid recovery is possible, but only with steady commitment and a willingness to adapt.
Thanks for joining us as we unpacked the facts, setbacks, and strategies behind these environmental changes.
Thank you for listening. This episode was powered by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.